All right, let's talk about something that I think almost everyone scaling their business is dealing with: cloud chaos. Today, we're going to break down a really powerful three-layer framework that's designed to help you build a cloud environment that's well-governed, efficient, and actually feels modern. So let's just dive right in. So, does your cloud environment ever feel like, I don't know, the Wild West? If it does, you are definitely not alone. It's so common for companies to grow and find that this amazing, flexible tool they started with has just turned into a tangled, confusing mess. And you've probably seen these symptoms yourself, right? You've got shadow projects popping up all over the place. Really valuable data is just stuck in these little silos. And oh man, trying to make outdated compliance rules work is just a recipe for friction. It really all boils down to one big problem: no central visibility and no real control. It's just chaos. Okay, so how do we start to fix this? Well, it all begins with layer one: creating your cloud blueprint. This is all about getting that solid foundation in place, establishing the fundamental structure for every single thing you do in the cloud. The easiest way to wrap your head around this is to think of it just like a file system on your computer. You've got your main drive, right? Then you have folders for different things, and inside those folders, you have your actual files. It's a really simple concept, but it's an incredibly powerful way to organize everything logically from the get-go. In a platform like Google Cloud, this hierarchy breaks down into three key levels. Way up at the top, you have the organization. That's the root for your entire company. Then, underneath that, you use folders to create these logical groups. Think departments, teams, you name it. And finally, at the very bottom, you've got your projects. This is where the real work happens, where you turn on APIs, manage permissions, and actually run your services. Now, this brings up a huge debate, one you see online all the time. Should you structure your folders by environment, like dev, staging, prod, or by business unit, like marketing and engineering? Look, going by environment, it's super simple to get started, but trust me, it can get complicated fast. On the other hand, if you organize by business unit, it actually mirrors how your company is built, which makes it way easier to apply department-specific policies. But here's the deal: there's no magic bullet here. The right answer is whatever model best fits how your organization actually works. So once you've got that structure in place, we can move on to layer two. See, it's not just about having nice, neat containers. It's about what you put inside them. And this layer is all about a strategic shift in how you organize your information by treating your data as a product. And the core idea driving this is something called the data mesh. It's a framework that completely flips the script. Instead of a giant, centralized data lake that one team has to manage, you move to a distributed system where data is treated like a first-class product with its own owners and consumers. And this quote right here, it gets right to the heart of it. Instead of some central team trying to be the gatekeeper for everyone's data, a data mesh gives power to the individual teams. The people who actually know their data inside and out, and lets them own it, develop it, and share it as a reliable product. So what does this actually look like? Well, a data mesh really depends on four key functions that all work together. You've got your data producers. Those are the teams creating and taking care of the data products. Then you have the data consumers who find and use that data. And to make it all work, you have a central governance team setting the rules of the road for the whole mesh, and a central platform team that provides all the self-service tools to make everyone's lives easier. And that brings us to our final layer. So we've got our structure, we've got our data strategy. Now we need some modern rules to govern the whole thing. This is about building the right guardrails that actually help you move fast in the cloud instead of slowing you down. The biggest challenge here is that so many compliance rules were written literally decades before the cloud was even a thing. The old way is reactive. It's all about rearward-looking audits and trying to cram old rules onto new tech. The modern way, though, is proactive. It's about looking forward, managing risk, and building compliance right into your development process from day one. A really key part of this whole mindset shift is moving away from what we used to call a shared responsibility model, where the cloud provider's job just kind of stops at a certain point, and moving toward what's now known as a shared fate model. And what shared fate really means is that your cloud provider isn't just tossing you the keys and wishing you luck. They become an active partner in your success. They're giving you security blueprints, tools, and best practices from the very beginning, actively helping you build and run a secure and compliant environment. It's a game changer. Another really powerful modern idea is something called control harmonization.
The thinking here is instead of running around trying to prove compliance for every single different framework out there, PCI, ISO, all those industry rules, you create one unified set of controls that satisfies most of them at once.
And the payoff for doing this is just massive. Audits get so much simpler because you're testing one set of controls, not a dozen. This makes your compliance efforts way more cost-effective, and it gives you this flexible framework that can easily adapt when new regulations pop up. The mantra is control once, comply many times. Okay, so let's pull this all together. We've talked about how to go from that initial chaos to a clear 3-layer action plan that gives you structure, a smart data strategy, and modern governance to tie it all together. So here's your path forward. Number 1, build that blueprint with a clear, logical hierarchy. Number 2, start treating your data like a product using a data mesh strategy. And number 3, modernize your rules by embracing that shared fate mindset and harmonizing your controls. These 3 layers, they really build on each other to create a cloud environment that's truly well-governed. And that kind of leaves us with one final question to think about. Because following a framework like this, it isn't just about cleaning up a messy closet. It's about making a really strategic choice. So, are you just using the cloud? Or are you proactively building a foundation that's going to power the future of your organization? Something to think about. Thanks for tuning in.